A mother who was arrested after police say her young son starved to death remains behind bars right now after facing a judge in court. Local 10's Hannah Yeshivi is live in Fort Lauderdale with new disturbing details about this tragic case. Hannah.
Nicole, Michele Doe is facing 6 charges, including first-degree murder for starving her 7-year-old son. Just a few hours ago, there was a dependency hearing here at the Broward County Court to decide the fate of her other 2 kids.
Michele Doe, age 37, a monster mom, starved her 7-year-old son to death. What kind of mother would do that? What is this world coming to? God bless the 7-year-old. Damn.
Who was arrested after police say her young son starved to death remains behind bars right now after facing a judge in court. Local 10's Hannah Yeshivi is live in Fort Lauderdale with new disturbing details about this tragic case. Hannah.
Nicole, Michele Doe is facing 6 charges, including first-degree murder for starving her 7-year-old son. Just a few hours ago, there was a dependency hearing here at the Broward County Court to decide the fate of her other 2 kids. I do want to warn you, the details on this case are disturbing. Doe, visibly distraught in court, she was ordered not to have any type of contact with her 9-year-old and 16-year-old children that police say she also neglected.
Walter Atwell, father.
We are recommending placement with the father, Mr. Atwell, for both children.
The judge agreeing to place them both with the father of one of the children.
We would be requesting, counseling for grief counseling and trauma counseling for both children.
Ms. Doe, you are charged as follows.
Earlier today, Doe also appearing before a judge to set her bond. She's held on no bond for first-degree murder and $100,000 for each of the other 4 counts. All of this after she's accused of starving her youngest son to death, Deontay Atwell, back on Christmas Day of last year.
Who died at the weight of 7 pounds.
The young boy was diagnosed at birth as a medically complex child that needed a feeding and a breathing tube. Also complicit in his death is the owner of a Medicaid provider that was in charge of caring for the boy, the grandfather of the victim, the 21-year-old brother of the child, and a nurse assigned to care for Deontay. Records show the little boy had been starving for a long period of time,
resulting in the child having his bones exposed through gaping holes through his lower back.
Evidence also points the 7-year-old died during a scheme to defraud Medicaid,
in which the defendant was also a part of, knowing that these nurses were either receiving money for services not rendered to her.
Out of the 5 people charged in this case, only the grandfather has been allowed to bond out, and we're still waiting for his release this afternoon. But back in December, the mother, Michele Doe, created a GoFundMe page to pay for the funeral expenses of her 7-year-old son, and now the company GoFundMe has told us that they're returning all of the money back to the people who donated and not giving any money to Michele due to the allegations. We're live in Fort Lauderdale. Hannah Yeshivi.
Her 7-year-old boy died reportedly from starvation in Fort Lauderdale. 5 people, including the child's mother, are now facing charges.
Local 10 News reporter Annalise Garcia is live in Fort Lauderdale.
She has the disturbing details from this case. Annalise.
Good afternoon, ladies. So the details of this case, absolutely tragic and difficult to hear. Detectives tell us that they lost sleep over this case. Several people now facing charges for the death of this 7-year-old boy, including the brother and the mother of that boy. That mother actually appeared in court this morning for her first appearance hearing. We can take you over to video so you can see what that looked like. She is facing murder in the first degree, and she was given no bond. It was Christmas Day 2023. Frantic calls to 911. 7-year-old Deontay Atwell was reported unresponsive by his family. He was inside his Fort Lauderdale home.
Tell me exactly what happened. My nephew, he's on the breathalyzer. He's not responding too well right now. He's like, we need an ambulance now.
Nearly 1 year later, homicide detectives back at the house, arresting people they say are responsible for starving him to death.
He had gaping holes from bed sores where he had his bones were protruding. At autopsy, he weighed 7 pounds.
Investigators say Atwell was born with many medical issues, including spina bifida, a condition requiring a breathing and feeding tube. But detectives say he was neglected, starved. Police finding more than 260 bottles of his feeding formula unopened. 5 people taken to jail, including mother Michele Doe, who even set up a GoFundMe to raise money, along with his brother, grandfather, a nurse, and the owner of the medical company.
This child did not receive any of that skilled nursing care. Had the child received those services, he would not be dead or weighing 7 pounds at the time of his death.
I'm going to stay on the line with you as long as I can. Just watch him very closely and look for any changes.
Investigators say Deontay was likely already dead when people at the house called for help.
According to the ER doctor, he had been dead for quite some time. It's sad to say that Deontay had suffered all the way through his death by the people that were supposed to be caring for him the most.
So Deontay's mother and brother were facing charges or are facing murder charges because they were the direct caregivers of that boy. The grandfather facing charges because he didn't report what he saw going on. And the nurse and the owner of the medical company facing several charges, including medical fraud. We're live in Fort Lauderdale. Annalise Garcia, Local 10 News.
A crucial reminder here, help is available if you or anyone you know is a victim of domestic violence. You can call the phone number there on your screen or simply text the word START to 88788.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Please subscribe.